Every time you try a new diet, do you have this thought that goes, this time will be different. This time I'll finally feel confident and happy with my body. Guilty. That used to be my life, but it never worked. I always wound up feeling unhappy with my body and still stuck in this same exhausting cycle with food. The really good news is I changed my focus, and instead of obsessing over diets and restriction, I changed one thing. And this one thing led to me having total peace and confidence with my body, having freedom and peace with food, no more restriction, no more dieting, getting in the best shape of my life, losing weight, and the best part is it has nothing to do with food or restriction. And I'm going to share it with you in this video. Let's start with the cold, hard truth. The facts are the facts. Over 95% of diets fail. Why? Not because you don't have enough willpower, not because you're not following things diligently, but because dieting doesn't address the root cause of your struggles, which comes down to your nervous system. And yes, I'm so excited you asked because I'm going to tell you all about what that actually means. And before we dive into the meat, I want to let you know that right off the bat, I have a free nervous system toolkit that you can download and start using right away to see some amazing shifts in your life right here, right now. So you'll want to download that in the description below. So over 95% of diets fail, and it's not because you don't have enough willpower, you're not doing it correctly, you're not trying hard enough. It's because your body is not designed to be in a restrictive period for a prolonged period of time. And what happens when we engage in chronic yo-yo dieting, which is what dieting encourages us to do in the first place, you put your body in your nervous system specifically into a threat response. So our chronic dieting, our chronic obsessing over food, our chronic feeling guilty over eating food, our obsessing over the way our body looks, everything that society, diet culture with the weight loss industry has essentially brainwashed us to do, puts our nervous system into a complete state of dysregulation instead of regulation. Why do I need you to know that? Because I can pretty much guarantee that most of you watching this video struggle with your nervous system and some form of dysregulation. If you struggle with your body image, you have a hard time having a peaceful relationship with food, you feel stressed all the time about food and your body image, you're experiencing some form of dysregulation in your nervous system. And again, this is not your fault. When your nervous system is dysregulated, it's in a constant state of stress and it feels threatened. And our nervous systems are not designed to have this wear and tear of so much stress and no reprieve. So when our nervous system is dysregulated and it gets stuck here, what happens is our body image suffers, so we have an increase in negative thoughts about our body that we can't seem to quiet no matter what we do. We feel irritable, we feel stressed, we have poor quality sleep. Our digestive system is stressed, so it can't absorb the nutrients that we actually eat. We struggle with issues like leaky gut. We struggle with things like mood disorders. We start to feel very helpless and hopeless and very ashamed of our struggles. We tend to overeat, emotionally eat, and binge eat, and we have little control over that because our nervous system is in this stress state, and that causes our brain to crave sugary, salty, processed foods, and it shuts off those natural hunger and fullness cues, which tell us I'm hungry, I'm full, I'm done eating. So this nervous system dysregulation wreaks havoc on our lives, and it makes it very difficult for us to have the relationship we want with our body and food. And this is also why it doesn't seem to matter how much you exercise or how much you control your food, you can't seem to see results with your exercise or food plan. We find we have stubborn weight that we can't lose. Again, this all comes down to our nervous system, because when our nervous system is dysregulated, we have increased levels of cortisol and adrenaline. Those end up being fat storing hormones. It leads to things like insulin resistance and weight resistance and all of the things that I've already talked about on top of things like hormone imbalances. We could go on and on and on. This is really important because this nervous system dysregulation has an impact on every single area of your life. And we spend so much time thinking that it's just about food. If I could only control what I put in my body, I'm going to magically see results and I'm going to magically find myself in a better place with my body. And then we do all of that and we wonder why we're frustrated. Well, that's because we've actually done nothing to fix the root of the problem of what's going on in our body. And that's what I'm excited to share with you today and what we're going to go into in more detail. So if you, for example, struggle with binge or emotional eating, that's your nervous system crying out for help. That's your nervous system saying, hey, I'm stressed, take care of me, because I'm finding things like food to soothe myself to feel safe. And no amount of dieting is going to fix that problem, because the problem isn't food. The problem is your nervous system that is stuck in this stress state. So here's the good news. We can absolutely learn how to take loving care of our nervous system, build capacity, build regulation within our nervous system. And when we do that, guess what happens? We find it easy to have peace with food. We don't restrict food. We find it easy to exercise in a way that we love without feeling like it's super difficult. We have balanced hormones, we have good quality sleep, our gut health is in a good place, we're actually absorbing the nutrients that we eat, we feel like our stress is balanced, we have resilience to stress, we're in a good place. We don't binge and emotionally eat, like things are good when we're regulated. So that's what we need to be focusing on. And that doesn't just benefit you in your relationship with your body and food, but your entire life. Because when your nervous system is regulated, you excel at work, you understand how to put yourself out there, you feel confident, like the list goes on. So that's what we want to work on today. And I want to show you some of the top 2 tools that have helped me develop regulation within my nervous system, and the same tools that I teach to women all around the world. So let's get into those tools. So how do you start healing your nervous system and building more safety within it? It starts with small, consistent practices like I'm going to teach you today. And after spending over 20 years trying to heal my binge and emotional eating issues, my chronic dieting issues, my weight problems, my body image problems, with everything under the sun, from therapy to coaching to, hormone specialists, personal trainers, nutritionists, you name it, I found the biggest breakthroughs and healing from focusing on my nervous system and using tools like I'm going to teach you right now. Like I'm telling you, absolutely life-changing. I could spend the whole rest of this video telling you about how magical it is, but instead we're just going to get into the tools. So the first tool that I want to teach you, which is an evidence-based tool, single-handedly the most powerful tool I've ever used to help regulate my nervous system, and I am a master certified practitioner of this, so you're in good hands, is EFT, otherwise known as tapping, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to tap on these points that I tap on. It can be on the right side of your body, it can be on the left side of your body, you choose, but the goal is to tap where I tap and just follow me. So this is the first point, side of the hand, then we're going to go to the second point in between the eyebrows. So these are acupressure points, and what this is doing is it's sending signals to your brain, the limbic system, the amygdala, to calm down and turn off the stress response. Side of eye is the next point. And immediately, I start yawning because it's just very powerful. Under the eye. So not only does this help to calm your nervous system, help to decrease and regulate stress, it also helps to rewire and reprogram all these negative critical thoughts that we get stuck in a loop about in our lives, which is huge. Now under the nose, because those are some of the most dysregulating things. So as I said before, when you constantly have negative thoughts about your body, you constantly have obsessive thoughts about food, you constantly feel like you have to diet to have the body you want, that stuff is keeping your nervous system dysregulated. That's why you're not seeing results. If you can learn how to do tools like this and really bring healing and safety and peace to your nervous system, now we're finally going to start seeing some results. Let's go under the arm. So this one's right under the armpit. And this is our final point, the top of the head. So you can tap a couple taps per point, you don't have to count. And what I would love for you to do is to get into a practice of a 5-minute a day. Let's start here, 5 minutes a day. You can set a little timer for yourself and you're just gonna tap through these points continuously. I hope you're doing this with me because you're borrowing a lot of benefits. Oh. So you can tap in silence, you can tap to music, it doesn't matter. You don't need to add words right now. This, on the most basic fundamental, is like hygiene 101 for your nervous system, okay? So this is like brushing your teeth. This is like a basic level introduction that is going to have some immediate huge impacts in your life. So 5 minutes a day doing this tapping and notice how you feel. So even right now, we just did probably 3 minutes together. I want you to just notice how you feel. Notice what shifts you're aware of. I always joke we should have like a little yawn counter to see how many times I've yawned, because it's always so powerful. So that's tool number 1. And remember, if you haven't already downloaded the Nervous System Toolkit, bookmark that to do after this video, because in that video, in that free toolkit, I go through in detail education about our nervous system, give you specific tools to use. We just, it's so valuable. I can't say enough about it. So it's in the description below and it's totally free. Second tool that you're going to use, other than EFT tapping, the Nervous System Toolkit, so technically this is number 3, is something called orienting, aka grounding. Do not underestimate the power of this technique, because this is the most basic form of feeling safe in your body, okay? So what orienting looks like is actually turning into your environment that you're in right now. So do this with me. Noticing where you are. So I am in my bedroom. My bum is on the floor. I'm looking outside these windows. I see, I see the trees. I see people walking on the street. I want you to look in the environment that you're in. So if you're watching this while you're walking, or if you're listening to this in your bedroom, or I don't know, in your closet or something, I want you to actually look around and notice what you see. I'm already feeling relaxed again. And why this is because your brain is always scanning for threat and danger. And so when you can take a moment to pause and look around and show yourself, I'm safe, I'm okay, there's no bears, lions, tigers, I'm good, your nervous system starts to settle and regulate. And how we take this a step deeper is we are going to name 5 things we can see in our surroundings. So I see a tree, a blue car. See, I'm yawning again. There's a white car, a blue recycling bin, a cat. What else can I find? You get it. So 5 things we can see. Now let's find 4 things we can touch. So I want you to find 4 different things you can touch with your hands, and bonus if they can be different textures, and notice how they feel. Now we're going to listen for 3 things that we can hear. So I'm going to quiet down and I want you to listen and tell me 3 things that you can hear in your space. So if you get really quiet, you could probably hear 3. So I heard a car going by, I can hear the humming of my heater, and I can kind of hear my dog breathing. Now we want to find 2 things that we can smell. So that might not always be possible, but find 2 things in your space you can smell. Could even be a rogue towel you have on the floor. Okay, clean laundry, perfect. And now 1 thing you can taste. So if you have a glass of water or a cup of tea, this is a great opportunity to have a little sip. And then tell me how you feel after doing that exercise. What do you notice after grounding? Take a moment to let your body catch up with your mind and just really tune in. How do I feel? What are my thoughts like right now? My energy, my emotional state. And please do share that in the comments. So as I said, these were just some of the many specific tools that I use to finally break free of lifelong emotional eating, break free from lifelong struggles of my body image. Oh my gosh, heck, even financial debt, relationship issues. Like, these tools changed every part of my life in the most magical way possible. And this is what I help women all around the world to do. And as I said, there's an easy nervous system toolkit resource for you, because I just want to gift you with those extra tools so that you can start changing your life today. So I would love to hear in the comments what you're taking away from this video. How do you feel? Start implementing those tools today. And I really do think this video right here, continuing on our nervous system theme, will be really helpful for you. So sending you a big hug and wishing you a beautiful day. I'll see you again next week.